Hello guys, I think most of you know that critics are not trustworthy. Let's look at some critic movies. Um, let's look at literally like half the movies that come out this year. Reviews, except like Angel Has Fallen, for example. This movie has 94% among audiences, but of course the critics gave it a lousy 40%. This is the video called "Why You Cannot Trust the Critics." The critics used to be trustworthy. If a movie was bad, for example, let's talk about old movie that nobody really cares about. No, that is just awful. That most people tend to agree is terrible. Um, Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is considered one of the worst movies ever made. And of course, audiences and critics agree that Howard the Duck is one of the worst movies ever made. One of the worst Marvel movies. And a lot of people still hate Howard the Duck, the character, because of this movie. I think the MCU could make a Howard the Duck movie be good, but this movie was terrible, and it was actually made by Lucasfilm, which was surprising. But and of course, lots of great movies like there's a new movie on DVD that just came out on the Apocalypse Now. Um, it is a remake of it is a of an old movie. Probably it's coming soon, but it is no release date. So Apocalypse Now, the original release, not the final cut, which doesn't have no release, has a 97% and a 94%. Apocalypse Now is considered an extremely great movie, and rightfully so, as the audience score and critic scores are like the same. Same thing with other classic movies. If we look at Jurassic Park, not the first one, the classic one, 91% and 91%. Critics and audiences completely agree on this review. Same thing with Jaws, another classic movie that everybody loves. 90 and 80, 98%. Of course, the critics is much less, but audience is still very positive. And of course, we're going to, but those are classic movies. Of course, the critics and audiences love those movies. Of course, the critics and audiences love those movies. Of course, they do. Of course, the classics. Jumanji. We had the first one here. The first one isn't as well received. Still, the critic score and the audience score is pretty close. But a lot of people actually think this is a good movie, Jumanji. I actually think it's a pretty great movie for everybody to watch. But if you look at the sequel, which is considered better than the first one, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Jumanji: Oh, actually got good reviews by critics. If I looked at Metacritic, bad reviews on Metacritic. Guess that's just Metacritic. Or you got the most recent example of this, Aladdin, the remake. I hate the Disney remakes as much as I hate the Disney remakes, the pointless, soulless cash grabs. But you can see here, Aladdin the remake, 57% by the critics. Which is surprising because I thought Disney paid off the critics. If you want, so most people say that Disney pays off critics all the time. Well, if they did, the movie would be the same score as the audience score. Audience score is 94%. And that's basically about Aladdin remake right here. You see here 94%, 57%. I'm not going to really see it because I already own the original Aladdin. I don't need to see a live action version of Will Smith, the or I'll buy a seat on TV. But the audience score and critic scores are much different in this movie than for say in Dumbo, where pretty similar. And actually, the critics already hate these remakes too. If you look at the Dumbo remake, all the remakes have like really, really bad reviews. Dumbo, the audience and critics are mostly even here on Dumbo, the remake that nobody asked for and nobody wanted. There is one outlier to this, is that Lion King remake. You would expect that the critics and audiences, like more people who viewed it critically, would think the movie is terrible. Of course, more critical people who really see the movie for how it is. A very, very bad, soulless, emotionless movie. But most audiences must have liked this movie. But they must have loved this movie for nostalgia purposes. Which is when you look at the reviews, it's for nostalgia purposes. People only went out to go see the Lion King remake for nostalgia reasons, which is actually pretty bad for the film. Nostalgia is actually pretty bad for the film industry. Actually, I don't care what you guys say, but if the Lion King remake goes, no, if the Lion King remake goes to $1.5 billion, Disney's just basically from Disney just toying with nostalgia, just remaking a movie just to make money, and it still made money. Yeah, this is okay. That's a tangent. I'm not. I'm sorry about the tangent. Or if we look at a very big example this year. Oh yes, I have to go over this movie again. Oh no. Yes, Alita Battle Angel. Oh yes, Alita Battle Angel had the same exact score as the original Lion King, not the remake, the audience score. And for Alita and the Lion King, the original Lion King, not the remake, that people only like for nostalgia. If you see that these scores are the same, okay, but the critics think it's almost mediocre. 60% is literally almost mediocre of a movie. If you look at the top critics, 34%. You're telling me that the movie is only 3 out of 10? 3 out of 10? You're telling me that Alita's only 3 out of 10? Okay, I'll show you a 3 out of 10 movie. Okay, yeah, I'll show you a movie that's a 3 out of 10. It's this movie. Oh, and the critics think this is a great movie. They think that's actually a good movie, but this is the critics. But then we have a movie that actually has bad reviews. Yes, we're going over this movie again. Wait. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Ooh, yes, this is a big example of why the critics are stupid. The Last Jedi. To the untrained eye. Oh, but the critics love this movie. It's obviously a masterpiece. Wait, the audiences hate this movie. Oh, but the people got me called names for not liking a movie. You're not racist if you don't like a movie, okay? If you can feel free not to like this movie. I don't like this movie. This movie's terrible. This movie's a piece of garbage. The plot sucks, the characters suck, and everything about the Last Jedi sucks. You make these boring flat characters, but then we have more examples here. Here's another movie that released last year. Venom. Oh yes, this is a big example. Not all the snake movies. Venom, the movie about this movie actually has a higher audience score than Black Panther. My Black Panther got a 98% and is considered the greatest movie of all time by Rotten Tomatoes. Yet Venom is considered a much better movie. It's still considered a better movie than Black Panther. But how could we consider a better movie? It's a bull and of course, according to critics, it's the same score as. And no, we're not be going over controversial movies like Suicide Squad, Man Back International, and Dark Phoenix. All three of these movies actually have pretty bad audience scores, but the critics hate them even more. Still a ton of people who hate Man Back International, X-Men Dark Phoenix, and Man Back International, and Suicide Squad, of course. Of course, the movies still have pretty high scores compared to the actual critic scores. And of course, unlike Venom, unlike Suicide Squad, Venom has an 80%. So more people like this movie than the critics thought they did would. Okay, here's another example. I haven't seen this movie, but Glass even has good reviews for critics. For the critics, Glass 2019. It's a horror movie, I think. Actually, the scores went down from 80%, but it's still much higher than what the critics gave the movie. Glass is a movie that kind of fell off. It was popular throughout the first half of the year and kind of fell off, and it will probably be forgotten as just another blockbuster movie that made money at the box office. And that's basically about Glass. Or then there's the movie that the critics continue popping up. Okay, but don't have the same scores. Here, Once Upon a Time, and not no. This movie. Oh yes, this movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I have not seen it. I probably won't see it. But if people say this is a movie is proof that not that did not this movie is not for everybody. Obviously, um, it is a Tarantino movie, and it's actually one of the worst rated Tarantino movies out there. If you look at the user score for Once Upon a Time Hollywood or IMDb scores, which continues to go down each time I view it. Okay, so what's the score for IMDb now for Once Upon a Time Hollywood? Oh, it's now down to 8.1. People were making a big deal about the IMDb score. It's now at 8.1. Endgame is actually now below Toy Story 4 on IMDb. Yes, it's even below Toy Story 4. Yes, Toy Story 4 is considered a better movie than Once Upon a Time. Actually, it's the same score. Endgame has a much higher score than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which Endgame still has an 8.6 and hasn't changed for the last month. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has a 70%. That is 23 points behind Alita Battle Angel and 21% behind Endgame. And people were saying this is the magnus opus of the year, the greatest movie of the year. It still has good reviews by the audience, but has the same score as Glass. Movies that are panned by critics, like Venom, have higher scores than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Movie and Alita Battle Angel as well, but also has a 47% among top critics, which is probably the reason why Alita doesn't have high reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Or the fact that Dora the Explorer, the movie, yes, Dora the movie has a higher score than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Try explaining that one to your film studies colleagues. That more people like Dora the movie and the Lion King remake than one. Yeah, this is truly a very people. Don't wonder why people are saying we're in the worst timeline when a Tarantino film is ranked less than a Dora movie. Yes, it is. But if you look at these scores, I think a lot of people went out to go see it just because it's a lot of people are making such a big deal about this movie, being big deal about how great this movie will be and how awesome this movie will be. But a lot of people found this movie boring, which puts it at a 70% score. We compare it to one of Tarantino's other movies. As I was even thinking this one of Pulp Fiction. Kill Bill has 81%, which is actually slightly higher. Actually, and it's still lower than the Dora the Explorer movie. That's telling you, it's still lower. Or how about the movie people say his magnum opus, Pulp Fiction? All right, let's see your score. Actually, it's 96%. Never mind. Which means it's higher than Dora the movie, which is good because Dora the movie is terrible, and so he is 0%. But you see here, this movie, Kill Bill has an 81%, and Pulp Fiction actually has 96%. I actually didn't know the score. I was actually expecting the score to be similar to Kill Bill. But for some reason, Kill Bill has 32 million reviews. I don't know where these 32 million reviews came from. Okay, I don't know where these 32 million reviews actually came from. Maybe they're all bots. It's the same thing with The Incredibles, which is considered one of Pixar's magnum opus movies. One of Pixar's greatest. Still has a lower score than Venom. Yes, Pixar's magnum. Well, people, I don't like The Incredibles, the movie. I didn't give the review on here. I wasn't impacted in the review, but this has 46 million, 42 million reviews. And that's just ridiculous. It's only movies that around that time that have that many reviews. Maybe there was a glitch in Metacritic and they gave The Incredibles that many reviews. But if you compare it to Metacritic, Incredibles on Metacritic, and of course Rotten Tomatoes, and the Rotten Tomatoes is very different than Metacritic. If you look at Metacritic, The Incredibles has an 8.8. Saying Kill Bill actually has a bunch higher on Metacritic. So our Rotten Tomatoes reviews not trustworthy. That is your decision to really make, because I don't really find Rotten Tomatoes trustworthy anymore because Rotten Tomatoes they think that people on Rotten Tomatoes think the Lion King remake is much better. I would actually watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 100 times and watch the Lion King remake twice. But Kill Bill has an 8.7 on Metacritic, which I think that's what the Rotten Tomatoes score should really be towards. Obviously, Rotten Tomatoes, a lot of the has so many reviews for the movie that they drag down the score down to only 81%, which is the reason why the movie doesn't have high reviews similar to on Metacritic. So, this is why Rotten Tomatoes is terrible, and why the critics especially are stupid. Not about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Kill Bill, but about Alita Battle Angel and Star Wars The Last Eye. And of course, we forgot to talk about this movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Despite them complaining there was not enough Godzilla in the last Godzilla movie. Yes, critics, screw you.